Was there a section or an obstacle on the track that really stood out to you as like, hey, this is something I want to talk about, or this is something that I'm really excited is back or that I would ride? Is there like, what was that one part of the track for you?
There were a few. So I liked the short little on off 3-1 before the whoops, and I kind of liked that
Mm-hmm.
you had to. I'm very surprised nobody went on off quad, to be quite honest, because the on off 3-1 didn't really
Ah,
look big,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
took a bit of time to like have to single, and if the berm was huge, so you couldn't
mm-hmm.
launch that single into the berm. It just didn't work that way. So you had to kind of take your time on the single a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
then the whoops were interesting. There was like, I think they got pretty big midway through, but they
Mm-hmm.
started kind of flat. So you could come out of that corner and like really come in hot. That's actually part of the reason why Deegan fell in that heat race is he came in and was trying to just grab that gear, hang off the back a little bit in the first few to just get that steam
Yeah.
and just come in as fast as possible, which is what ended up getting in trouble because then he kind of missed one. And because his weight was back, he got that
Mm-hmm.
kick and it kicked both of his feet off the foot peg. So the seat hit
Yeah.
his butt. I saw somebody, actually, it might have even happened to Tomac on like the second to last or the last lap of the main as well. That section was cool. I loved and I rarely say this, the sand looked fun. I
It
it
did.
was cool how they were
Yeah.
roll up over, drive down, and then there was a roller kind of
Yep.
coming out, and then at one point, and I guess I we'll get to this when we talk 450s, but in the 450 main, the outside was faster for a little bit of the main,
Yeah.
which was cool that it wasn't one lined,
Yep.
and then it came back at the end of the main, the inside was faster again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yep.
track just looked it looked cool. The triple quad looked fun.
It looked awesome. What is it? What does it take? Because obviously, from a fan's perspective, us more mere mortals, we love seeing quads. We love seeing huge triples. We love seeing. I forget which track it was, like last year, year before, at one of the speedway events where they had like that huge kicker to a like a super long table, or was it a double or
Yep.
something? We love seeing that. What does it take from a pro athlete standpoint to go triple quad in that section? Like I always wonder like what are they thinking?
Oh, well, it takes the crazy person to do it first, right? So
Mm-hmm.
whether that was Jet or Justin
Justin
Hill,
Hill.
right? It was somebody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once somebody does it, and maybe even does it a couple of times, it becomes much easier because you see a lot of guys jump that triple quad. By the end of the night, there was 250s
Mm-hmm.
doing it. There was 450s all the way.
Mm-hmm.
LCQ guys in the LCQ were jumping it, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
it takes somebody to kind of break the ice and figure it out, and then because then you could just listen. What's difficult about a quad is that you don't do them that often, so you don't know how fast to go. I mean, I guess safe bet, especially because it was the last roller in the section. Safe bet is wide open. But triples in rhythm, like we know the distance, it's measured out. Whether you're going 2-3 or 3 in or 2-2-3, it doesn't matter. It's the same. So you
Mm-hmm.
know how fast to go. Um,
Yeah.
and another big factor with the 3-4 is like those guys were getting booted high in the air on that thing.
Yes.
It
Yep.
was cool to watch. I just can't believe
Yep.
that Feld allowed that to happen. Like the way that these like they manage these tracks to try and not have that happen, and then they create the most inevitable, obvious quad situation that I've ever seen. It was
Yeah.
like
With runway at the end a little bit before that next
there's
triple.
no way that Dirtworks didn't build that track and everybody just knew, oh, they're going to go 3-4, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they'd be
No,
silly if,
that was pretty cool.
yeah. So all they had to do, I guess, to avoid that was add in one more roller
Mm-hmm.
and it would have just been a 3-3-2.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I'm not against it. It was cool to watch. I thought,
Same.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when they
Made for
started
some
going
great
3-4
racing.
and then landing going inside up over the roller before the triple. I was like, geez.
That was insane. That was cool. One obstacle, which I probably think you know is my favorite obstacle on a supercross track. I love step on, step offs. I don't know why. It's my favorite thing, and we had some pretty good ones before the finish line section,
Yeah.
before the finish line jump, and seeing those guys just try to make up time, skimming the top. It looked like Jet had the best, I want to call it bunny hop, to actually get on top and not clip too much to kill his drive. That to me was like one section where I was like, man, if nothing else on this track, obviously it's made for the best of the best. That's one section where I was like, I don't care how big it is, I would try that. That looks so much
I
fun.
forgot about that
Just to
section.
hop on top.
You're right.
On top.
On offs,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them, are
Yeah.
super fun. And that one looked cool. The one chance I've had the like probably most opportunity to do them was straight rhythm. And especially on straight rhythm, doing them on 125s. Like I think for the James Stewart year, I want to say there was like, you had a few of them, or maybe it was the Travis Pastrana year where it was like 3 tables in a row where you're having to skip across the top.
No, I think it was the Stu year.
Okay.
And it was closer towards the start. If you cut the track in half, I think it was closer towards the
Yeah.
start.
So much fun.
If I'm not mistaken.
So much fun. Because when the track gets broken down, you have to bunny hop, basically. So as fans, like if you were to watch that race back, or if you noticed that there were guys sitting down across the tops of the tables, and you're like, why are they sitting down right there? It's because they're trying to get that seat bounce and trying to get that pop. That's where I talked a lot about this at class, actually, because we had a section that was at Cahuilla Creek. It was like a massive, basically it was a quad, but you could on off it. It was pretty cool. Or you could go single over table, but it was not supercrossy at all. It was an outdoor style obstacle, but you could ride it like this supercross section. So I had my A group, my fast group in my class, do scrub, jump to the top, and then drive off the top. And the only way to do it was to slip the clutch to create the compression and quick pop of the rebound. And so I was talking and referencing, I don't know if you watched the entirety of the Gypsy Tales Eli Tomac podcast, but Tomac was talking about clutch use and the fact that a lot of people don't know how to, even in Supercross, they don't know how to use the clutch to do a 3-in or
build power.
Or to harness the power, to use it to help your suspension pop or not pop and push through if you want it to. So I was trying to teach the class that an on-off section like that, the guys that are the best at those are the ones that understand how to use the clutch to their advantage. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.